There's a place I'd rather be, a place you should choose to always be. His presence. Because that's where I see His magnificence. Savor the uniqueness of His essence. Nothing about Him is nonsense because all of my mind and soul look to Him in radiance. When I worship, I recognize His dominance. When I sing, I declare His praise and eminence. When I pray, I revere Him as my sole audience. And when I stand in awe of His glory and radiance. His presence is where His spirit and mind are at confluence, and it's where everyone is qualified to be irrespective of academic and economic competence. Because what matters here is that our hearts are in conference with the Holy One who doesn't make an inference, but only desires that we come boldly to Him with confidence. Therefore, I do not need to fear the consequence of dwelling in His utmost presence. Here, I'm shielded from the distractions of sin and its virulence. I'm reminded of His love and patience and hear His voice as I sit in silence. I love the fact that this fellowship He intends to take to its permanence. Yes, in eternity, His presence will be our residence. So set your interval to consistency and the mode to temperance. Make His word your reference and your faith in Him your defense, and see if your life will not make a difference. Just make sure you never crave for any other place except His divine presence. Once you come before Him in repentance and openness, do not be bothered about eloquence as long as your spirit and His are in oneness. You can be sure to be cleared of a guilty conscience. Now let me tell you something. To come before Him, you don't need to bother about having a license. It's not like the movies that keep you in suspense, but He's always sure to always fill you with the joy of His presence. Time with Him makes you the quintessence of His grace and mercy, so don't you for a second get tired of dwelling in His sweet presence. Like the psalmist, I would say, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. I was glad when they said to me, come to the house of the Lord. In your presence is fullness of joy and eternal pleasures at your right hand. One thing I ask of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life.